When we think about success, the first thing that often comes to mind is talent, intelligence, or luck. But the truth is far simpler and far more attainable. Success is built on routines. The ordinary, daily actions we take, the patterns we repeat without thinking, create the foundation upon which extraordinary lives are built. A routine is not merely a schedule. It is a personal system that allows you to consistently show up, produce results, and move toward your goals without relying on fleeting motivation or momentary inspiration. In essence, a well-crafted routine is the engine that powers the unstoppable life. It transforms intention into action and dreams into reality because it removes the chaos of indecision and replaces it with a disciplined flow of energy and focus. The process of building an unstoppable routine starts with clarity. You cannot design a system without knowing where you are headed. Begin by identifying your goals, but not in vague terms. Specificity is critical. Instead of saying, "I want to be successful," define what success looks like to you. Is it financial independence, creative mastery, physical fitness, or mental resilience? Once you have clarity on the destination, your routine becomes the vehicle to reach it. Every task, every habit, every moment in your day should serve as a step along this path. When you know your why, the how begins to naturally emerge because purpose acts as fuel for consistency. Consistency is the cornerstone of any unstoppable routine. It is not about intensity, it is about persistence. Many people fail, not because they lack ability, but because they lack consistency. They sprint for a day, a week, or a month, only to collapse under the weight of sporadic effort. The most successful individuals understand that excellence is a byproduct of repetition. This is where discipline comes into play. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It is the quiet voice that tells you to show up even when you do not feel like it. It is the silent force that keeps you aligned with your purpose, regardless of distractions or temptations. History provides profound examples of the power of routine and discipline, none more compelling than Winston Churchill. Churchill, one of the greatest leaders of the 20th century, guided Britain through its darkest hours during World War II. His leadership is often celebrated for its courage and strategic brilliance. But what is less discussed is his personal routine that allowed him to operate at a level far beyond the ordinary. Churchill's daily routine was unusual, yet it was the key to his productivity and creativity. He would begin his day late in the morning, spending the early hours in bed reading newspapers and dictating letters to his secretaries. By late morning, he was fully engaged in work, making decisions, writing speeches, and planning military strategies. In the afternoon, he would take a nap, a habit that restored his energy and allowed him to approach the evening with renewed vigor. Then, in the evening, he would resume work, often writing and thinking late into the night. This unconventional schedule was meticulously maintained for decades. It shows that the form of your routine is less important than the structure, the rhythm, and the commitment to it. Churchill's routine was his secret weapon, enabling him to think clearly, act decisively, and lead a nation through unprecedented crises. To craft an unstoppable routine, you must also embrace the power of habits. Habits are the atomic units of daily life. Each small action, repeated over time, compounds into remarkable results. The key is to identify habits that align with your goals and integrate them seamlessly into your day. Start with micro habits, small, manageable actions that require minimal effort but create momentum. For example, reading 10 pages of a book each morning may seem insignificant, but over a year, it accumulates into hundreds of books read and insights gained. Similarly, dedicating just 30 minutes daily to exercise, learning, or creative work, if performed consistently, leads to exponential growth. Habits reduce the mental load of decision-making. When you automate the right actions, you no longer rely on willpower alone. Your system runs on autopilot, producing results with less friction. Another critical element of an unstoppable routine is prioritization. The human brain can only handle so much focus at a time, and attempting to do everything leads to burnout and mediocrity. Determine the activities that produce the highest impact on your life and concentrate your energy there. This principle, often referred to as the 80-20 rule, suggests that 20% of your efforts yield 80% of your results. By identifying the vital few tasks that matter most, you create a routine that drives meaningful progress rather than busy work. Winston Churchill was a master of prioritization. During the war, he devoted himself to strategy and leadership decisions that would shape the course of history, delegating other responsibilities and trusting his team to handle them. His focus was deliberate, intentional, and relentless, proving that even in the most chaotic circumstances, a structured routine with clear priorities can produce extraordinary outcomes. Building a routine also requires flexibility and reflection. Life is unpredictable, and even the best laid plans will encounter disruptions. The key is not rigid adherence, but adaptive consistency. Learn to adjust without abandoning your routine. If you miss a morning session of exercise or reading, don't let it unravel the rest of your day. Recenter, recommit, and continue. Reflection is equally essential. Periodically evaluate your routine to identify what is working and what is not. Make adjustments to improve efficiency, enhance energy, and ensure that every action serves your ultimate goals. A routine should evolve alongside you, growing more sophisticated as you gain experience and understanding of your personal rhythms and priorities. Time management is another pillar of an unstoppable routine. Every minute in your day is a resource, finite and irreplaceable. Treat it with respect. Schedule blocks of uninterrupted focus for tasks that matter, and eliminate distractions that erode your attention. In the digital age, distractions are constant social media. Notifications and endless streams of content can easily derail your day. Establish boundaries that protect your focus. Create rituals that signal the start and end of work sessions, allowing your brain to enter a state of deep concentration. Winston Churchill, despite the pressures of leading a nation, meticulously carved out uninterrupted time to think, plan, and write. He understood that the quality of his decisions depended on the clarity of his mind, and he structured his day to protect that clarity. Finally, building an unstoppable routine requires patience and self-compassion. Results do not appear overnight. Habits take time to form, routines take effort to maintain, and mastery of any skill requires persistent effort. Be kind to yourself on days when you stumble. Use setbacks as learning opportunities rather than reasons to quit. Resilience is born from the repetition of showing up, not from never failing. Each day you adhere to your routine, even imperfectly, compounds into progress. Every step, no matter how small, strengthens your system, reinforces your discipline, and moves you closer to an unstoppable life. An unstoppable routine transforms your life because it removes dependence on external motivation, which is unreliable and fleeting. Instead, it creates internal momentum, a force that propels you forward regardless of circumstances. It is the difference between a life of reacting to events and a life of intentionally shaping your destiny. As you craft your routine, remember that the goal is not perfection but persistence. Each action, each habit, each day of showing up adds up. Like Winston Churchill, who leveraged his unique rhythm and disciplined structure to lead a nation through the storm, you too can harness the power of routine to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Your daily choices, repeated consistently, become the scaffolding of your future, and the routine you build today will determine the life you lead tomorrow. Once you understand the power of routine, the next step is to design a system that works for your life, not against it. Many people try to imitate others' routines, believing that copying the schedule of a successful person will automatically lead to success. But routines are deeply personal. What works for one person may be impossible for another. Your energy levels, your responsibilities, your mental focus, and even your personality must be considered when crafting the routine. The goal is to create a flow that feels natural yet disciplined, one that aligns with your strengths and compensates for your weaknesses. It's about finding your personal rhythm, the cadence that allows you to be both productive and fulfilled every day. The first step in designing this personalized routine is mapping out your day in blocks. Time blocking is not about rigidity. It is about intention. Allocate dedicated periods for critical activities: work, learning, exercise, reflection, and rest. Each block is an opportunity to focus without interruption, ensuring that you invest your energy where it matters most. This approach transforms your day from a chaotic stream of reactive tasks into a series of deliberate, purposeful actions. By controlling how you spend your time, you reclaim your life from distraction and create a structure that fuels consistent growth. Even Winston Churchill, whose days were filled with urgent matters of state, understood the importance of structured blocks. He would dedicate specific hours to correspondence, strategic planning, and reflection, ensuring that each domain received the attention it deserved without overwhelming his mind. One of the most underestimated aspects of an unstoppable routine is preparation. Success is rarely accidental. It is the outcome of foresight and planning. Each evening, take time to review the day ahead. Identify key priorities, anticipate challenges, and mentally rehearse how you will approach them. This simple act of preparation primes your mind for focus and decision-making. It reduces stress, increases confidence, and turns uncertainty into clarity. Churchill, despite the immense pressures he faced, was a master of preparation. He read extensively, often across multiple subjects, and meticulously briefed himself before making any strategic decision. This preparation was not about memorizing details. It was about cultivating readiness, ensuring that when the moment demanded action, he was fully equipped to respond decisively. Equally important is building routines that incorporate both productivity and renewal. Many people think that a routine is about grinding endlessly, but true sustainability requires balancing action with restoration. Your mind and body have limits, and ignoring them leads to burnout, diminished creativity, and reduced effectiveness. An unstoppable routine recognizes the value of rest, reflection, and play. Churchill famously prioritized these elements in his own schedule. His midday nap was not laziness. It was a strategic reset that allowed him to maintain peak mental performance for the remainder of the day. He also indulged in hobbies, painting, writing, and even enjoying cigars and whiskey in moderation, because he understood that creativity and decision-making flourish when the mind is nourished and relaxed. Incorporating periods of renewal into your routine ensures that you operate at your highest potential consistently, not just sporadically. Another powerful principle is accountability. A routine becomes far more effective when it is reinforced by a system of responsibility. This may involve sharing your goals with a mentor, friend, or coach, or simply keeping a written log of your daily progress. The act of tracking your habits creates awareness and encourages consistency. It transforms abstract intentions into tangible actions and measurable results. Many high achievers, including Churchill, relied on detailed records and correspondence to hold themselves accountable. You would track decisions, review outcomes, and adjust the strategies based on tangible evidence. Accountability transforms your routine from a set of isolated habits into a dynamic system that evolves and improves over time. Discipline and routine is enhanced by deliberate boundaries. In a world of constant connectivity and distraction, protecting your focus is essential. Social media, news, and endless notifications can fragment attention and erode productivity. An unstoppable routine establishes clear boundaries around these distractions, reserving focus for the tasks that truly matter. This does not mean isolation, but intentional engagement. Allocate specific times for communication and information consumption, and guard the remaining periods for deep, uninterrupted work. Churchill, despite the relentless pressures of wartime leadership, maintained boundaries around his work, creating pockets of focused thinking where he could strategize without interruption. His example illustrates that boundaries are not limitations. They are enablers of performance. Motivation, while valuable, is not the foundation of an unstoppable routine. Motivation fluctuates, and relying on it is risky. The real power lies in commitment, the conscious decision to show up and act consistently, regardless of feelings or circumstances. This is where your routine becomes unstoppable. By creating habits that run on autopilot, supported by discipline, preparation, and focus, you no longer need to wait for motivation to strike. Your system carries you forward, even on days when inspiration feels absent. Churchill often faced moments of immense fatigue, doubt, and pressure. Yet his routine and unwavering commitment ensured he continued to lead, make critical decisions, and inspire a nation. His life demonstrates that consistency outperforms bursts of effort fueled solely by enthusiasm. Reflection and adaptability are critical for sustaining a long-term routine. A static routine that ignores growth and change eventually becomes counterproductive. Regularly assess your habits, evaluate what works, and remove what doesn't. Seek opportunities to refine your system, increasing efficiency, improving focus, and expanding capacity. Adaptability does not mean inconsistency. It means responsiveness to evolving circumstances and emerging priorities. Churchill's routines evolved over decades, shifting to accommodate changing demands and personal rhythms. He understood that flexibility within a structured framework was essential for sustained excellence. Similarly, your routine should be a living system, responsive to the lessons you learn, and resilient enough to withstand disruption without collapse. Equally vital is the integration of mental and physical health into your routine. Your energy, focus, and decision-making capacity are intimately linked to the state of your body and mind. Regular exercise, adequate sleep, balanced nutrition, and mindfulness practices are not optional. They are foundational elements that allow you to sustain high performance over time. Churchill, despite leading during wartime crises, ensured that his physical and mental well-being was not neglected. His naps, creative outlets, and periods of leisure were strategic investments in his capacity to act decisively. By consciously embedding health and wellness into your routine, you build a system capable of supporting long-term achievement and resilience. The next dimension of an unstoppable routine is purpose-driven alignment. Each activity in your day should connect to your broader life goals. Random tasks, busy work, or meaningless distractions dilute your energy and diminish your results. Purpose-driven routines act as a filter, allowing only activities that serve your highest objectives to enter your day. This alignment is the secret to sustained momentum. Churchill's focus on the vital tasks of leadership strategy, communication, and decision-making ensured that his energy was always directed toward outcomes of greatest significance. Every hour, every habit, and every decision was aligned with the overarching purpose of leading his nation to victory. In the same way, your routine should be a reflection of your deepest goals, directing energy and attention toward what truly matters. Finally, building an unstoppable routine requires embracing discomfort. Growth and transformation rarely occur in comfort zones. It is the commitment to push beyond resistance, to show up even when it is inconvenient, that strengthens your system. Discomfort is not an obstacle. It is a signal that you are stretching your capacity. Churchill faced extreme adversity, personal doubt, and global pressure, yet he maintained his routine because he understood that courage, resilience, and leadership are forged in the crucible of challenge. Similarly, your routine should include deliberate challenges, tasks that stretch your abilities, develop resilience, and expand your potential. The routine becomes unstoppable, not because it is easy, but because it is anchored in consistent action, disciplined execution, and the willingness to face difficulty head-on. The final step in building an unstoppable routine is embedding reflection and purpose into every aspect of your day. A routine without reflection becomes mechanical, and a routine without purpose becomes hollow. Take a few moments at the start and end of each day to assess where you are, where you're headed, and how your actions align with your ultimate goals. This daily reflection is a compass, guiding your decisions and ensuring your system evolves in harmony with your ambitions. Winston Churchill, throughout his career, exemplified this practice. Even amidst the chaos of war, he regularly evaluated strategies, reviewed intelligence, and assessed his leadership. These moments of reflection allowed him to remain adaptive, confident, and effective, reinforcing the principle that reflection amplifies the power of routine by connecting action with intention. Embracing continuous improvement is another critical pillar. An unstoppable routine is never static. It grows and adapts as you grow. It is a living system that responds to successes, setbacks, and new opportunities. Each day presents lessons, and each lesson offers insight to refine your process. Small adjustments made consistently over time compound into extraordinary results. This principle was evident in Churchill's life. His habits and schedules evolved to match the demands of each period, whether in writing, painting, public speaking, or leading a nation at war. He continuously adapted, finding better ways to balance energy, maintain focus, and maximize impact. Your routine, too, should embrace this philosophy. Recognize inefficiencies, eliminate what no longer serves you, and refine practices to enhance productivity, resilience, and well-being. A powerful routine also incorporates moments of creativity and problem-solving. Life is rarely linear, and challenges often require innovation. By allocating dedicated time for deep thinking, brainstorming, and creative exploration, your routine becomes more than a set of tasks. It becomes a framework for growth and transformation. Churchill understood the necessity of creativity in leadership. He wrote extensively, painted, and engaged in strategic thinking that transcended ordinary problem solving. These activities were not distractions. They were integral components of his routine that enhanced his cognitive flexibility, perspective, and capacity for innovation. By including creative elements in your own system, you nurture a mind capable of navigating complexity, generating solutions, and remaining agile in the face of change. Another essential element is the deliberate management of energy. Time alone is not enough to ensure productivity. Energy, focus, and mental clarity are equally vital. Your routine should include periods of intense focus balanced with recovery, exercise, and mental rest. Recognize your personal energy cycles and schedule high-impact tasks during your peak periods. Churchill's late morning start, afternoon nap, and evening work were not arbitrary habits. They reflected a keen understanding of his energy patterns, maximizing output and decision-making capability. Similarly, by aligning your routine with your natural rhythms, you ensure that effort produces results efficiently, without unnecessary strain or fatigue. Building resilience through routine is another critical dimension. Life will inevitably throw challenges in your path, unexpected setbacks, emotional strain, or logistical obstacles. An unstoppable routine acts as an anchor, providing stability, structure, and consistency regardless of external chaos. The discipline developed through daily habits strengthens mental fortitude, allowing you to navigate adversity without losing momentum. Churchill's resilience in the face of wartime devastation and personal exhaustion highlights the transformative power of structured, habitual action. Even when circumstances were overwhelming, his routines ensured he continued to act decisively, think strategically, and lead effectively. Your routine should cultivate the same resilience, enabling you to maintain progress even under pressure. The social environment surrounding your routine also matters. While habits are personal, the people you interact with can either reinforce or undermine your system. Surround yourself with individuals who respect your focus, inspire discipline, and challenge you to grow. Accountability partners, mentors, or even passive influences like colleagues and family can provide reinforcement that enhances consistency. Churchill, for instance, relied on trusted advisors, secretaries, and military leaders to implement strategies efficiently. Their presence allowed him to focus on the tasks that demanded his unique leadership while maintaining accountability. Similarly, your routine should integrate supportive relationships that complement your goals and reinforce your habits. Equally important is celebrating progress. Recognition, even small, reinforces consistency and boosts motivation. Your routine should not be a source of drudgery. It should be a framework that acknowledges growth, celebrates milestones, and builds momentum. Churchill's victories, though monumental, were often punctuated by small acknowledgments, whether in the form of successful correspondence, strategic planning milestones, or personal achievements in writing and painting. Each accomplishment, no matter how minor, reinforces confidence and sustains his drive. By integrating acknowledgement and celebration into your own system, you create positive reinforcement that strengthens the sustainability and impact of your routine. Visualization is another powerful tool that complements an unstoppable routine. Taking time each day to visualize your desired outcomes, anticipate obstacles, and mentally rehearse success enhances focus and sharpens execution. Visualization bridges the gap between intention and action, preparing your mind to respond effectively when opportunities arise. Churchill often engaged in mental rehearsal, contemplating scenarios, outcomes, and strategies before making critical decisions. This practice enabled him to approach challenges with clarity, confidence, and foresight. By incorporating visualization into your routine, you cultivate mental preparedness that accelerates decision-making and enhances resilience in complex situations. Adaptability, while maintaining core consistency, is vital for the longevity of your routine. Life is unpredictable, and rigid schedules often crumble under pressure. A successful system incorporates flexibility, allowing you to adjust without abandoning core principles. This means recognizing when to pivot, reschedule, or modify tasks while staying aligned with overarching goals. Churchill's wartime leadership demanded constant adaptation. Plans changed, battles shifted, and crises emerged unexpectedly. Yet his routines, rooted in discipline and preparation, allowed him to pivot effectively without losing strategic focus. Your routine should operate on the same principle, balancing structure with the capacity to respond intelligently to change. Finally, building an unstoppable routine is about creating momentum that compounds over time. Each day you adhere to your system, each habit you reinforce, and each action aligned with purpose adds to a cumulative force that propels you forward. Momentum reduces reliance on willpower, strengthens discipline, and makes it easier to sustain growth. Churchill's decades-long commitment to his habits, schedules, and priorities exemplifies this principle. Over time, the cumulative effect of disciplined routines allowed him to manage immense responsibilities, maintain creativity, and exercise extraordinary leadership. Your routine, when consistently applied, becomes a self-reinforcing engine of success, turning incremental effort into extraordinary achievement. In conclusion, building an unstoppable routine is not about perfection, extreme schedules, or slavish adherence to a template. It is about clarity, discipline, preparation, reflection, and alignment with your deepest goals. It is about designing a personal system that maximizes your strengths, mitigates your weaknesses, and sustains your energy, focus, and resilience over time. By integrating habits, prioritization, accountability, creativity, and adaptation, you construct a framework that ensures progress, even when motivation fades. Like Winston Churchill, who navigated the pressures of global conflict with structured routines, intentional habits, and disciplined focus, you too can harness the power of daily practice to achieve remarkable outcomes. Your routine is not just a schedule. It is the engine of your potential, the foundation of your achievements, and the vehicle that transforms vision into reality. Build it thoughtfully, maintain it consistently, and let it carry you toward a life of impact, purpose, and unstoppable progress.